Hello, we are going to see today how to install a HTTP ACE certificate on a website. How to do this? I will be dealing this with Windows remote machine with the IIS web server. But first, I will give you 5 seconds to spot on the screen what is the issue. Let's start. You have 5 seconds. Show me the issue on this page. 5 seconds has finished, and I think you have already spotted that the issue is that this web server has no HTTPS protocol enabled. This is by default the HTTP protocol, and actually MySpector is a website that I am designing in C# with the Blazor technology, and I make feature over feature one after one, and I push this in production. For the moment, the production is still in HTTP protocol, and we will see in this video new evolution in this product, and we will go directly in production to try to install the HTTPS protocol. As a reminder, the HTTP protocol is using the TCP port 80, and the HTTPS protocol is putting some encryption on the layer and is using the TCP port 443. Before we dig in the topic, I present myself shortly. I am Thierry Bremer, Senior Software Engineer, working since with an experience since 2000 in programming in C. I have been graduated as an engineer in 2008 in the engineering school in France with some telecommunications expertise, with an Erasmus partnership in Germany in the Ulm University. I started to work as a C developer for 2 years in 2008. First work in the CNATE in France, 2008-2010 in a startup, French startup on the cloud computing. Then in 2011 I have started to work as a C# developer, and since this time I am a C# developer. In 2015 I was in a consulting firm called Margot Group in France, where I made different consulting missions in IT finance, where I worked in Société Générale, Natixis, Ostrom Management, and NG. And in 2020 I decided to quit the France to join Germany, and since this time I am working in Nuremberg in Germany in the technical testing of GFK. If you have any knowledge in C# and you want to work in any of these companies, you can contact me, and there is absolutely no problem. Before we dig technically in the subject, I will shortly also present what is the product MySpector. MySpector is a website which intends to give a service to extract data, to fetch data, extract data, check if the data corresponds to specific criteria, and then notify. I will give you an illustration with the very first line here. So in the troxes here panel, so a trox is one entity which corresponds to one target, one data which is isolated. You see the data which is there, which is in fact the price of the item. Then there is a check, and then a notification. So I'm going to click on the play execute button, and it is going to grab in real time the data coming from a target. So here I have the name of a target. I'm going to click here to see what is the target. The target is a web page of the Allianz website, where there is a ETF which is pricing at this price, 92.55. And the trox is configured to extract the data. The result of extraction is 92.55, and it is corresponding to a specific criteria, so it is signaled. True means that there is a notification. If I go to the configuration button here, I have all the configuration to specify what is the target. So here I have the target type, which is HTTP protocol, but in the future, MySpectre will handle different protocol. And here I have a cascade of extractors modules that I can combine together. I have here a HTML XPath module, which is followed by a converter text to number. Then there is a checker. If the number is less 105, I'm going to notify. On here, I can add any notifier that I want. I can send email, and in the future, I would like to put some tweets, some different things, some SMS, everything is possible. So the idea of MySpectre is this, is to have toolkit to be configured to reach different sources, extract the data, check and notify. Always this. So here, for example, I have the temperature in Nuremberg. If I play it, I will have the temperature of 20 and the data come from this remote website. So the idea is to be configurable, and here you see 20 degrees, which is being extracted by the MySpectre. And you have this for different things, for example, 141 euro access point Wi-Fi. Let's go, and it is coming from the Ubiquiti store, 141. Let's go to check. And here I have the Wi-Fi access point with 141 euro. So you have understood what is MySpectre. Now let's dig more precisely how to configure it in production. So you see here I am directly in production. I am using the production website, and at the end of the video we will see if we manage to put this as HTTPS protocol. There is different certificate providers, and Let's Encrypt is one certificate provider. The difference between Let's Encrypt and other certificate provider is that Let's Encrypt can be seen as a free association. I was a little skeptical at the beginning when I have discovered Let's Encrypt, when some people told me that they provide some certificate for free. The reason is that this entity is earning some money by a lot of official sponsors like Mozilla, Cisco, EVS, OVH Cloud, Meta, etc. It is very important to know where always there is a conflict of interest with the service that you take, and in this instance, Let's Encrypt seems to be fair, and there is also indeed a lot of websites which are known. So this was just to explain. Let's Encrypt is a reliable provider to get a certificate. The interesting thing about Let's Encrypt is that the idea is that it is promoting the internet secured, and for this reason it is giving some protocols and some tools to make some automation about acquiring some HTTPS certificate. So let's start with this page. So I'm going to close all the other page. Let's start with this page, and starting with this page we will do everything. So because we are dealing with security, it's better to go to some sources which is linked by this page. So Let's Encrypt, you have the button Get Started. So let's start now. To enable HTTPS on your website, you need to get a certificate from a certification authority. Let's Encrypt is a certification authority with a specific protocol which is called ACME protocol. To configure out what method will work for you, you need to know whether you will have a shell access. This is the case for me because in fact I have a remote access which is there. The remote machine with my Spectre, which is running the IIS instance, which is running the Blazor instance. So I can do everything on my machine where I have the control I want. With shell access, so this is the case of my machine. We recommend that most people will, with shell access, use a certbot Acme client. So what is good is that here Let's Encrypt is telling us, giving us a software to go to install a certificate. It can automate certificate issuance on installation with no downtime. So let's go and click on this certbot. I'm going to click on this and I go to this page, certbot. And here in this page, there is certbot software, and this certbot software is installable on different configuration. So here I'm going to say that I have IIS, but IIS is not listed here, so I put other, and I am on Windows, so I click Windows there, and here, go. And now they say here, other on Windows. To use ShareBot you need a command line, okay, with an open HTTP port 80, with a hosted server, with access, okay. So, Windows installation procedure, certbot is now officially available on Windows. You find that certbot is not the most suitable Let's Encrypt client for use case. There are many other clients, I don't care me, I am only relying on certbot because it is clearly referenced by Let's Encrypt. Specific Windows system requirement user knowledge, so you must know how to put CLI command. Pass certbot must be writable, so this is important. Download the latest version of certbot installer for Windows here. So I'm going to click here to get the certbot tool. Where is it? Oh, it is already installed, downloaded. Yes. Okay. So the certbot here is downloaded. I am going to put this on my D drive, on my Spectre, prog my Spectre, let's put in my Spectre dependencies here. This is a local copy. I copy this binary and I go directly on my remote machine. And I will put this in my Spectre dependencies there. Let's come back here to see what is proposed. So download the latest version. This is done. Run the installer and follow the wizard. The installer will propose a default installation directory that can be customized to start a shell for certbot. So we must go install it. Let's do this together. Just before we install this, let's look at the current configuration of IIS. So IIS, I have the MySpectre here, the MySpectre website. And you have here the binding. The binding explicitly says there is a HTTP protocol which is open on the port 80 with the hostname myspectre.com. This matches to TCPview, which is a tool of sysinternal, and we can order by local port the different ports which are open on the current machine. And you see indeed that there is a HTTP port which is the 80 port 80 by the system because it is IIS. And the 443, which should be for the HTTPS protocol, is not enumerated here. So we have to check after the installation that the HTTP will be disabled, and then the 443 will be enabled. It will be one of the validation that we will do later on. So let's do this. Let's install the certbot program. Run as admin. Let's be crazy. Welcome to certbot. Next. Program files. So this is the first time I'm doing this. It is live. This is a premiere for you, and I hope you will enjoy it. I will discover some things, but this should be possible to do this. Let's Encrypt is used by a lot of people. But renew schedule task. You see here it is saying, okay, it has just displayed at the end is putting a scheduler, a task in the scheduler for the renewal. Complex certbot setup, install on your computer, finished, good. Let's look at the certbot here. Click on this. Okay, there is a command line which is there. You can run certbot command here. Type certbot -l for information. Let's come back to the web site to see what it's saying. Run the installer wizard. To start a shell for certbot, select the start menu. Or PowerShell, click run as administrator in the contextual menu that shows above. Run certbot as a shell command. To run a command on certbot, enter the name certbot is a shell followed by the command on its parameter. For instance, to display the inline help, tac. Choose how you would like to run certbot. Are you okay with temporarily stopping the website? Yes, because I do not have a lot of traffic. So stop your web server, then run this command to get a certificate. Certbot will temporarily spin up a web server on your machine. Certbot Certonis on also. Here there is a command that I can take. I copy this command, I come back to my remote machine, and I am an administrator. Yes, I will stop my IIS instance, and in the same time I can monitor my 80 port. So I'm going to stop the web server. You see in real time that the 80 port has disappeared. Local port 80 is not anymore there. Then I'm going there, I passed my command and type enter. Let's look at what it is doing. Saving debug logs, enter email address used for urgent renewal. My email address is tbremar@gmail.com that you can also use if you want to write me. Please send the term of service at tac. Do you agree? I suppose that I do agree. Yes. Would you be willing, once your first certificate is successfully issued, to share your email address with the electronic funding partner? No, I don't want. Please enter the domain name. So this is important. To have a valid certificate, it is important to provide the domain name because the certification mechanism is using some cryptographic techniques to check that you are indeed the name and to match the host name. So this is very important. Please enter the domain name you would like on your certificate. So here I'm going to use the domain name in lowercase, myspector.com. Tac. Requesting a certificate. Oh, look. So here you see HTTP protocol is open in real time by and you do not see anymore the process, but I think this was. You see the remote Let's Encrypt. So you see that it has open HTTP port on Let's Encrypt. Successfully received certificate. Certificate is saved at Certbot Live MySpector full chain PEM. Key is saved at tac. Certificate expires on nice. So here this means that in this location I have my certificate for free. So let's do this. Let's go there. Tac. So what is this? livemyspector.com, full chain PEM, private key PEM, full chain PEM. Why? So here I have an issue. It is 0 byte, but it is a link. So. First issue. Enter the domain name MySpector. Successfully received a certificate. Certificate is saved at full chain PEM. Full chain PEM. Readme. This directory contains your keys and certificate. Private key, the private key for your certificate. Full chain PEM, the certificate file used in most server software. Change cert warning. Do not move or rename this file. Certbot expects this file to remain in this location in order to function properly. Yes, but they are empty, guy. What is this? You see the expiration is quite small. This is normal. The problem is that currently the files are just 0 bytes and I do not understand. Certificate is saved at full chain PEM. Full chain the file, certificate file used for your software. Yes, but you are nice, but Windows can open this file PEM. Okay. I on app on this PC, Notepad. Always use this app. Ah, okay. Okay, these are links, symbolic links, properties, target, certbot. Okay. So, in fact, live. Okay. So, Certbot is putting some certificates in the live directory, which should be used currently. And I think he is managing some archive. So here you see archive, myspector.com. So you can maybe later on see which certificate was used in the past. Okay, so in fact, live MySpector. So the certificate file is full chain PEM. Full chain PEM is there. Private key is something that I should not display on the screen. These are symbolic link, you see it is there. And I will configure my IIS instance to use this thing. So, to recap what has happened for the moment. The website is still in HTTP. We have generated some files with the Certbot utility. With these files, we should install a certificate on the server. Let me show you here. So here I am on the server instance, my Spectre instance, which is not there that we should. At the end, we should add a new binding. So let's reverse the things and understand why we will do the stuff. So currently there is a binding only on the 80 port, and we did the bindings. I go there above the bindings, and here I must add a new binding with the HTTPS protocol. So I click here. I should here fill my name, and here select the SSL certificate. The SSL certificate here is empty because the certificate is not yet installed. It is not yet installed even if we have locally the files that the certbot has downloaded. So to install the SSL certificate, we must not click here but click on the machine node here and click on server certificate. I double click on this, and here I want to import a certificate, and here comes another issue. The import action certificate wants a certificate in the file format PFX, while we have some PEM files. As a consequence, we must do an additional step. We must convert the PEM file format to the PFX file format. There is no internal tools to Windows to do this, but there is some tools. So one tool to do this is OpenSSL. The problem with OpenSSL, it is a Linux thing and not a Windows thing. But, so I can take my PEM there. I passed my PEM files there, and there is some documentation in the web to make the translation between PFX, creating a PFX via OpenSSL with an input PEM files. So PFX is a file binary format used to store elements, and it is possible. So here in this web page there is a command line OpenSSL with some parameters. And in fact, the OpenSSL there is an instance which is available in the Git directory, which you should install. You should have already installed if you are programming. And if I look for OpenSSL, there is the OpenSSL exe here. So in the CU program files git user bin, there is an instance of OpenSSL exe. And I'm going now to type this command line. So I have added this directory to the path of Windows. And here there are my files that are given by cert. And I'm going to explain that I want OpenSSL to create a PFX file, export it, and the output file should be named myspectre.pfx. I give as an input key my private key and also the full chain PEM. I type enter. Here I should put a password because the PFX files are protected by a password. So here you should put whatever password you want. And remember, which is independent from all the SSL tokens. This is just for protection of the file. So I put one password. One more time. And boom, there is a PFX file which is generated. So I take this PFX file here. I come back to my remote machine and I'm going to put it there in this directory. My PFX file is now located on the machine, and what I can do to install, there is two possibilities. Either I click on import certificate here via what I have just displayed, or what I can do is simply double click on it. Store location, this would be for the local machine. The file name here is this one. I type the password that I have put just before to protect it. And I click next. Next. Finish. The import was successful. And now I should see normally when I want to add so let's look by curiosity here on server certificates. So you see now it has seen myspector.com, issued to myspector.com, issued by R3, which is another name. So here you can look at the different properties issued by R3 details. So here you see all the details. This is Let's Encrypt. R3 is Let's Encrypt. And there is this letter CNOCUS. Okay. So the certificate now, which is a good step, it is installed to the machine. Now we should configure the IIS instance to use it. So to do this, I come back to bindings. I want to add a HTTPS. And now I have the certificate that I want to use. Host name should match to the name of the certificate. This is the way SSL works. Be sure of the identity. Spector.com. By default 443 for the HTTPS, no problem. Click OK. Now I have two bindings. I can close, and maybe this is already finished. So here I have two bindings. Let's look at the HTTP norm. Wait, let me SSL settings. Require SSL is not checked. So this means that if I go to browse my local web server, okay, it is already redirected to myspector.com as a secured. So it is already working. Let's browse HTTPS. Okay. Let's come back to my user machine. Come back to. Oh, it is already redirected. So good. So if I want to force it to HTTP, you see that I am already redirected. So what I can do now is to force the redirection by going on SSL settings. I will say I want to require an SSL, and client certificate should be let to be ignored. There is a problem to understand. Client certificate does not mean anything about the server certificate. Client certificate is the way that the client authentifies itself with a specific certification. This is useful for internal organization to authenticate, and you can have some issues if you accept or require. So it should be ignored and then apply. Good. And now one more check. Reload. Okay. And now what is great, I come back to my web server and I am secured. Just double check, we can make a double check here by looking at the TCP view, checking that there is still a HTTP port open. Interesting, yes, because in fact the binding is left for the moment. I am going to look at the two things in the same time. So you see here, HTTP port is open, and the HTTPS port is open a little later because it's 443. So let's say instruct IIS now that I want to close the HTTP port. So I do this by going on bindings, Port 80, I want to remove it. Yes. Bam. HTTP disappear and HTTPS is left here. I can close this and then I could restart. This is not mandatory, but I restart. So here, up, tac, HTTPS is up again. I can close this manager and it's finished, done. So the little tricky thing is this transition of PEM files to PFX, which is a thing specific to Windows. So let's recap. We have at the beginning a HTTP server with IIS. We want to open a HTTPS port. To use the HTTPS port, we need to use the certbot program, which comes here. This is a certbot, which goes to make some operation with the Let's Encrypt certificate authority. Let's encrypt. This certbot then generates some PEM file certificates. Then we are going to use OpenSSL file, OpenSSL program, OpenSSL, to generate some PFX file. PFX certificate file because it is Windows format compatible. Then after doing this, what we have done is installing on the machine install PFX certificate on machine. Okay, the certificate is installed on the machine. Then we go and add binding IIS with the HTTPS protocol by instructing IIS to use this certificate. So this is the global roadmap which has been done, and it's finished. I hope you have enjoyed this technical video, quite practical, where we made the practical things before the theory. Here you see the little slightly the theory. So good luck for your enterprise if you are launching your own web server. Have a little tour also on myspector.com. Tell me what you think in the comments about this presentation, also about the service of MySpector if you have the opportunity to see it. The MySpector functionality is increasing day after day. There is still no possibility to create any login, but at least review it and give me some ideas and some suggestions to enhance it. And goodbye.